Hey, what's up? Thanks everybody that's been checking out the vids. Got more coming. So today we've got two questions. I don't have enough for a studio session, but I have hella songs written. Um, what can I do to get started recording? Okay, so first off, you don't need a big studio to start recording songs. Even with the microphone and the audio interface, you can, if you get out there, you can find somebody that has an audio interface that'll be down to record you for maybe like 20, $40, man. Um, that's probably the best way to get started recording. Um, if you want something that's kind of professional sounding. Another way that I would say is probably better for you to start, that you could be able to start right now, is if you have a laptop, I would download a free sequencer program like Reaper. Get an instrumental, and then use your phone's voice memo to record in sync with Reaper. So I've done something like that. I've actually made songs in Adobe Premiere because I haven't had a music sequencer on me, but I had a sequencer. And what I would do is I would play the song, and then in my headphones, I'd put the headphones up to the voice memo so that it could hear it, and then I'd plug it back in, give it a couple beats, and then I'd start the song, just so that everything's synced. So when I drop it in, you hear where it is in the song, and it's just boom. Once they match up, everything's on rhythm. That's one way of doing it, and pretty much that's what that's gonna do is that's gonna get you into the rhythm of recording, because then what you're also gonna find is you don't want to put all this money in, and you've never recorded a song. Okay, you've written some, but the act of performing with no mistakes and knowing where you can punch in and edit, and that part is a whole nother art in itself. So it's best to practice that not on somebody else's time. Um, I had to learn that the hard way. We've booked big studio sessions, and it wasn't, people weren't didn't have their stuff ready, and we ran out of time. Because everybody rehearses different, But now when I go to studios, I'm always ready to get the project going. I've know what I've written. I've actually recorded it before. I usually have written around to my car, listening to the voice memo recording of it, so that by the time I get to the studio, it's just a couple takes and it's played. So that's what I would do. Definitely start with, um, you know, doing it on your own with the phone, and then maybe upgrade to a buddy that has an audio interface for 20 or $40. Now, if you don't have 20 or $40 to shoot somebody with an audio interface, man, you gotta get on your hustle there, man. You shouldn't be making that many songs anyway if you can't get 20 or $40, man. I mean, hell, you could paint paint numbers on the people's address house on the street, for like $10 a house, man. Do two houses, you got $20. Um, that's just, you make music isn't about just making the music. It's just a reflection of everything else you got going on in your life. So if you can't record because you don't have $20, and I mean, everybody's situation is different. Maybe you got child support or other things going on. And that's, I understand, but that's still something you got to take care of so that you can have some of that flexibility to dedicate to a little bit to your art. Even a painter needs to have an easel and a place to paint. Even if it's a backyard or his own room, it's got to start somewhere. So you have to make a little bit of that sacrifice to make that space in your life. And it pays you back, man, because then you have something polished that you can look at and say that you've completed, and finished. So that's that. There's always a way. Any budget, any time, any age. So question number 2 that we have is, how, this one's really good. From one of my homegirls, she asked, how does the songwriting process work for you? And that's actually kind of an interesting question. So in my I had a previous video talking about writer's block. And this kind of goes into that same theme where you have to develop a relationship with your creative self, you know? It's not a natural thing. It wasn't for me for sure. Um, personally, me, I kind of had more of a not a superficial kind of level jock mentality for at least until I was 20 something. Then I really started like putting a little bit more ideas behind my things, and it wasn't just so much about status or anything. It was about like reflecting on what you're actually putting out there. So so it's not a natural thing to have that creative muscle used to being flexed. You have to work it out like a gym, and it just shows health in like a different way. But what I would do for songwriting is, and it's kind of similar to what I do for script writing and, um, you know, book writing or any kind of writing that I do, is I kind of look at what's going on around me. What do I like? What am I listening to the world? What's the world telling me? What have my nights been like? What has been revealed to me? And I kind of just catalog those things. And depending on the beat, um, what it sounds like. If it sounds sad, I might be able to talk about some sad things that happened last year. If it sounds like I'm winning or something, I can have like a victorious sounding song, you know. And every artist is gonna have like their bread and butter things that they know they can knock out, and then they have other things that are just to kind of show that they're well rounded and they kind of treasure because it's like a certain variant to what they usually do. Like, I don't write a lot of sad songs, but I have a few that I really like, you know? And it was just I happen to be in a certain place. So then when I hear those tones, I'm like, oh yeah, I gravitate towards that. Um, but my bread and butter is like, I can come onto a track and just talk shit and like have some fresh shit to say. Like, that's easy. I have like hundreds of verses like that I can just pick from and just put. But something that's like a little bit more like different side of myself, such as a sad song or a deep intellectual song, or like something that's kind of like there's a genre to the song or a topic, or that more concept kind of songs. Those take a little bit different skills, but it's all the same thing. You're just pretty much relating to what's been going on in your life that has that vibe. And it doesn't have to be exactly that vibe. It's all kind of like an exaggeration of those things, and definitely leave your art to have space to be exaggerated. Like, not everything has to be so clear cut, black and white. The greatness of music is the mystery behind it. So I don't know. That pretty much sums it up for songwriting. I like to kind of just get into a zone. I have my creative time is in the mornings, 11 to 3. So if I'm free during that time, that's when I'll try to listen to a beat and put something together. And I don't. My process personally is I don't try to make every line perfect on the first draft. No, the first draft, I'm just like, it's really raw. I may voice memo myself. Freestyling, that's a great way. You just say whatever comes out, and then as you keep going through it and combing through the verse, you'll get better details and more details as time goes on. So yeah, but back to the first question. If you don't have enough for a studio session, make away with your phone. Use the tools you got. Anything that can record, you can make a song with. Even a VHS camcorder, I've figured out ways. So there's that. And definitely for the songwriting process, let it flow, feel, listen to yourself, listen to your own life. If you haven't been living too much life, you're probably not going to have a lot to write about. That's why having a job is also good, because I've done periods where I've been unemployed when I was just in the house making beats and songs, and you don't have much to write about if you're not out there interacting with a lot of different people and doing different things. And every day is something new when you add more people into the mix. So that's pretty much, you know, my answers to those. Please like and subscribe. You know, we got the playlist going. You know, we're really building out this YouTube channel to be a platform to showcase not only what I'm creating, but to just be able to have this conversation about creating. So, yeah, I have more videos coming, and stay tuned.